right, guys, welcome back to another video. So there has been a rumor circulating around for the last couple of days. Obviously, take this with a huge grain of salt. It could all be absolutely false, but there is a rumor going around that Tango Gameworks is working on a JRPG. Now, we know the story of Tango Gameworks. The Evil Within games are probably the first ones that people really recognize the studio for. Evil Within and then Evil Within 2. And then Ghostwire Tokyo came out, and that was a PS5 exclusive for an entire year. It is now on Xbox and on Xbox Game Pass. And I talked about this in my video yesterday. I haven't played it yet. I do definitely want to play it. It looks like it's a ton of fun. And everyone that I've seen talking about on social media has really been enjoying the game. So looking forward to jumping into that. And then there is the amazing game of the year, what my favorite game so far of this year. It's up there in top game of the year candidate for me, and that is Hi-Fi Rush, which was stealth dropped at the last Xbox and Bethesda showcase, which launched into Game Pass, did extremely well, did so well at that time that it even had beaten Forspoken in sales revenues, which is crazy because it was a $30 game compared to Forspoken being a full price game over that 1 week span of its release versus Forspoken's release. So it did extremely well, and it was an incredible game. And Tango Gameworks has a lot of great games that they've put out. Really, you could say that they really haven't released a bad game yet, at least depending on how you want to look at it. Some people didn't like Ghostwire, some people probably didn't like The Evil Within, but overall, I would say they've made awesome stuff, and they're going to be working on new projects. And one of the main things is Shinji Mikami has left. He did go into retirement, which I thought was an incredible asset for Xbox to have, but I'm sure all of his knowledge, everything is being passed on to everybody else there at the studios. But it looks like from this rumor, who it's according to Ecstasies, who is a Spanish YouTuber, talks about Xbox stuff and has rumors, not really 100% sure on his track record, how often he's correct, how often he is wrong, but this is who it's coming from. So again, take it with a grain of salt. And it says, according to Ecstasies, who have previously leaked information regarding Baten Kato's remaster and the new game from Hideo Kojima, Tango Gameworks is rumored to be working on 2 new projects, including a JRPG. The developer has recently worked on games like Ghostwire Tokyo and Hi-Fi Rush. Now, we don't know, I guess, what that other new project would be. So a big JRPG, I think, from Tango Gameworks is a no-brainer. I think they would make an incredible JRPG if you kind of take all the stuff that they have created, all of those different types of ideas, and put that into a big and open world game. I think it would be awesome. Like, you think about the difference between Evil Within, Hi-Fi Rush, and then Ghostwire Tokyo. These are all completely different styles of games. So they're very creative at the studio. So I think they could do a lot of awesome stuff with a JRPG. So I really hope that it is that. I hope it's kind of like a bigger open world exploration style. I would love to see Tango work on that. And then for the other project, one of the things that I think may be disappointing for some people, at least from what this leaker is saying, is that it is not the Evil Within 3. And you would think that they would make an Evil Within 3. It was well received. It would be perfect for the Xbox catalog to get its own really prominent survival horror style of game. I mean, you look at how well games like Resident Evil, all the remakes are doing, Resident Evil 4, just doing absolutely incredible. You think that Xbox would want them to have that game as part of Xbox Game Studios as an IP that people look forward to release after release, but we don't know what it is. We'll wait and see. They are working on other games, obviously. So this as a rumor isn't that surprising. Is it a JRPG? Again, it's a Japanese company. They could definitely make JRPGs. So to put 2 and 2 together, it would make sense. Now, in terms of what the other project is, again, we don't know what that could be. But I really like Tango Gameworks. I love the stuff that they have created. So especially after Hi-Fi Rush, I think people's eyes are really focused on what is coming next. I think that is the game that impressed a lot of people, more so than any of the other games that they made, and got a lot of attention onto this studio as one to always look out for the releases. So pretty exciting. We'll see what games are coming up from Tango Gameworks. Now, next thing I want to talk about here is portable Xbox devices. I know I've talked about this a couple of times in the past and whether this was something that was ever going to happen or not. My theory on Xbox making a handheld device is that they aren't going to do it because they're already licensing out Game Pass and Xbox Cloud Gaming to other handheld devices like the Logitech G Cloud. You can get it on your Steam Deck. On all of these mobile handheld PCs, you're going to be able to use Xbox Game Pass. I think Xbox probably more interested in building an actual portable handheld software for all of these devices. So it's not just cloud gaming, but it's also so that it can be utilized with downloading these games natively. And we saw with the Microsoft hackathon thing where a team there had actually put together a handheld UI, handheld interface to be used on stuff like the Steam Deck for Xbox Game Pass, which I hope Xbox takes that seriously and invests in it, because I think it would be perfect. But we have here, who's always outspoken, Seamus Blackley, the original Xbox guy, the original creator of Xbox, saying that Microsoft should be making an Xbox handheld. He's referencing here to Jez Corden's tweet, which says, I've been using Windows 11 on Steam Deck, and it's the closest thing we have right now to an Xbox handheld, and it's actually awesome. And I said this, I use Windows 11 too on my Steam Deck. It works great. There's nothing really wrong with it, but using the desktop version of Windows on your Steam Deck is cumbersome. I don't know, no way to cut around that. It is cumbersome, and it would be way better if it was in a mobile version, but it still gives you that opportunity to actually download and play games natively on your Steam Deck from Xbox Game Pass. Seamus Blackley says here, lovely, as there should have been an Xbox portable. Really, there should have been. So he's hinting here that he believes that they should have eventually made an Xbox portable. And now we're in an era where it seems like it's the revitalization of the handheld devices. I mean, the most prominent era you could say was from like the Game Boy to the Nintendo 3DS, and then it kind of died off after that. And now we're seeing it all come back here. I think the Nintendo Switch brought it back really to getting into people's minds as wanting to play games in handheld and having dedicated handheld devices. And you're seeing all these mobile PC handhelds come out, probably because technology is now cheap enough for them to be able to do it as well. So I think portable is really making a push to come back, but I don't see Xbox making their own hardware. It just really doesn't make too much sense. But would I like to see it? Sure, absolutely. I would love to see it. If it's a dedicated Xbox Game Pass device with a really easy to use UI, I think it would sell very well if it's not just cloud-based. That's one of the things where I'm not interested in just having a cloud-based handheld device. I just don't really see it as something that's that useful to me, because you always have to have a very steady internet connection. I want something that you can actually download games, take them on the go with you. And if you don't have an internet connection, still be able to play those games. So we'll see if Xbox does anything. There's a lot of chat, and maybe they will see the wants from the market for handheld gaming. And who knows, maybe the next Xbox announcement in terms of hardware will be a dedicated handheld device. Now, finally, to end off this video, let's just talk about this. This isn't really directly having anything to do with Xbox, but apparently Microsoft is dropping Twitter from its advertising platform on April 25th. And it comes after Twitter announced $42,000 a month for freeze to use its API. So I guess this could potentially relate to Xbox, because as we know, on the Xbox platform, you can share stuff directly to Twitter. I wonder how that is going to affect it. Is there going to be any integration that gets removed from the Xbox platform for sharing screenshots and videos and stuff like that, which would be an absolute shame, because it does tons of free marketing for the Xbox platform and for any gaming platform, even on the PS5. It just does tons of free marketing that they probably make a decent amount of money just from, I guess I don't know if they measure it, but just from people sharing games, saying that they're playing it on Xbox, and then people seeing that stuff, getting hyped up and going out and purchasing those games. It's just the best way, in my opinion, out of all the marketing out there. Microsoft Xbox, when it comes to Xbox marketing, has been pretty suspect. I don't know how they haven't improved on that, or how they haven't really held anyone accountable for some of the marketing and hyping up their own first party games. It just sometimes seems like they aren't there. But the best way that you get around that when there isn't the actual company doing all the marketing is from that word of mouth marketing, from people sharing games, their friends talking about it. Probably more powerful than any marketing that Microsoft could spend money on. So we'll see if this has any effect on it. Starting April 25th, they're going to be dropping off of the Twitter platform, of the advertising platform. And yeah, we'll see if this has any effect on anything here with Xbox and its integration with Twitter. But I'll leave the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.